Hello, how are y'all doing? It's rainy out today. It's not raining, but I think it will later. Today's video is going to be about something that took me a while to integrate, and I think it's something very important to allow ourselves to hear and sit with over and over and over again. Because while we may logically get it and we hear the words and we understand, it takes practice integrating this into our lives. So today I want to talk about when we lead from heart-based consciousness and we're following the callings of our hearts and we see the ego, we understand the mind and the head and the stories are all there, but we just observe them from a neutral space and we're leading from our hearts. Something that took me a while to fully integrate was to not compare my soul work with somebody else's soul work, right? And this could be anything. This could be you're an artist or you're a writer, you're a musician. For me, I was comparing my spiritual practices and my own knowings and these kinds of things with other people who speak and share. And what I found was that this put a damper on my creative power. This held me back from truly expressing what I came here to express. I was placing somebody else outside of me on a pedestal above me. That's what we're doing when we're comparing our soul work to others. This is what we're doing when we're comparing what it looks like for us to walk through life from our hearts to somebody else's, what their version of walking through life through their hearts look like. When we compare it, we are placing them as an authority above us. We are creating a sort of hierarchy in our own minds, which makes sense because that's kind of what this world is built upon. I shouldn't say that that's what this world is built upon. It's what the old world was built upon, but this new world we're creating, there is no hierarchy. There's nobody that is outside of you, that's above you, that is an authority over your life. And when we truly integrate this, we set ourselves free because we're no longer looking around like, is this the right step? Am I taking the right step? Let me go look over at their test and see what their answers are. It's like you're looking at somebody else's test trying to see their answers, except we're not being graded by the same regiment at school where there's only one answer, and if you don't have that one answer, you're wrong. That's not the way anymore. Every single answer is acceptable as long as it is authentic and true to your heart. As long as it is authentic and pure, coming from your heart, it is the right answer. So you can't really copy off of somebody else's test anyways, because then that wouldn't be the authentic answer to you, which would then make the answer wrong. See what I'm saying? So even if it's the right answer for their test, it's not going to be the right answer for your test. So by copying their answer, you're actually missing the point, and you're not, for lack of a better term, you're not passing. You can just choose to learn from the experience and then move forward, and it doesn't really matter. There's no failures. But the point is that it's so incredibly important to trust yourself over everything outside of you, which plays into discernment, which is so incredibly important right now in the world. Using your discernment. Anything that brings you fear or a chaotic state of mind or worry, anything like that is not of the light. Anything like that, even if it's, put in a nice, neat little box and it looks pretty, if it sends you into a chaotic down spiral or places you in a state of fear, it is not of the light. It may be of the false light. So just be careful to use your own discernment by dropping into your heart. And when you're listening to people speak, drop down into your heart. How does it make your heart feel? Do you feel expansive and limitless and excited and ready to now integrate this into your own life from a place of playfulness and light? Or does it make your heart contract and you feel scared or chaotic or unsure or anxious or angry? Listen to your heart if it's opening and expanding or contracting in fear. And your heart will always guide you exactly down the right path. And your heart will always shed light on the darkness, even if it looks pretty on the outside, right? So these really do play in to each other, right? Using your discernment when listening to other people, and then learning how to integrate that as part, taking inspiration from other people, using your discernment with what inspiration to take, and then integrating it into your life if you choose to. Not because they're better than you or because they know more than you or because their path is the only path, but because you felt inspired by them. And now you can take pieces of what you like and what resonates with you and integrate it into your own authentic path. But never placing somebody else's path above your own. That is going to dim your light. That is going to damper your own power and creative abilities. It is only when you tune into your heart and listen to the callings of your heart in each next now moment as the universe unfolds in front of you. In each next now moment, the universe is unfolding before you in the way of your decisions, in the way of your perceptions. And so being able to trust in your present moment rather than trying to grasp onto what you think somebody else's path is, because there's a lot that goes into our individual paths, and it's impossible to share every single piece of information and detail and decision that has brought someone on their path. And so that's why it's important to not place someone above you, because you don't actually know what everybody's day to day looks like. You don't actually know what people are doing in each now moment. You only know what you're doing in each now moment and how it makes you feel. And you can see through people's content, whether it's art or music or speakers or whatever, how that piece of content makes you feel, expanded or contracted, and what pieces of it inspire you and what pieces of it don't really resonate with you and you wish to leave behind. And then using the pieces from other people's paths, if you wish, as inspiration, as a co-creation, and truly always coming back to your own heart and your own path and listening to yourself always. Learning how to tune in with your own inner source of abundance and wisdom and truth and authenticity, and listening to that always. Even if it doesn't make sense to your ego in the moment, if it's something that feels exciting and expansive, follow it. This is what I'm practicing doing for my 21-day higher self integration. It's sort of taking on a life of its own. And I'm just surrendering the need for my mind to control what it's going to look like and how exactly it's going to play out, and all of these things that my mind is trying to control so that I can feel a sense of safety, egoic safety going into it. But what is truly needed is for me to drop down into my heart and allow that inner source of wisdom to guide me in the best ways, right? My mind can only guide me so far. My heart guides me into limitlessness and expansion and abundance and joy. There's a car. So simply just me surrendering to the need to control exactly what's going to happen and what it's going to look like, and allowing the essence of my soul to express and come through, that is stepping into my authenticity, and that is where my true gifts and magic can be shared, right? Because whenever I'm trying to control it with my mind, I'm placing it into like a nice little controllable box where the outcome is foreseeable and I know exactly what's going to happen. Whereas when I drop down into my heart and let the creation flow through my heart and allow this entity, this container I'm creating, take on a life of its own through my pure intentions, through my work with the divine, through the presence of my I am, that's when we enter into limitless potentials. That's when we enter into the realm of magic and miracles. Things that our minds cannot comprehend or control. We must surrender to the I am and allow creation to flow through naturally in the way in which our divine selves want it to flow through. This is really what I'm working on and focusing my energy on the most, is just kind of really getting in alignment with my own daily practices and bringing that to this 21-day challenge. And it's going to be incredibly important to release expectation on what is going to come through and exactly how it's going to play out. Just setting the intention that we are going to be creating a container with the divine and surrendering to our own individual I am presence, and just allowing the miracles and magic to unfold, stepping into the mystery, stepping into the unknown realms and dimensions with the divine, and just letting miracles unfold. You can't control a miracle. You just have to let it flow through. So that's what I'm working on, is not comparing my container I'm creating to other people's containers that I've heard other creators talk about, or I've done different challenges back over the years, and just not comparing myself to other people's creations and allowing my unique, authentic expression to flow through and take on a life of its own, so that the divine can truly step in and facilitate miracles in this space. So yeah, if you're interested in that, the link will be below. And I'm very excited about it. I know I'm talking about it in all these videos, but it's because this is what I'm focusing on right now. And this is what I'm pouring my passion and excitement and my heart into at this time. And I'm so excited for all of us that are going to be there. It starts on December 1st, 3 p.m. until December 21st. Every day until the 21st at 3 p.m. Central Time, there will be recordings. If you can't make the live, there will be like access to the recordings for whenever. And yeah, it's going to be magical. We're going to see what happens. If you want to read more, I do have it in the link, like written description of it all, and so you can go look at that. But yeah, this is what I'm sitting in today, is embodying ourselves fully and authentically, standing in our truth fully and authentically, and truly learning what it means to not compare ourselves to others, not because they're not amazing or divine or on a beautiful path, but because we're all uniquely different in these individual expressions. And we came here for ultimately the same thing, but it breaks down on the micro level to different ways that this needs to be brought down to earth. And so you're doing yourself a disservice by dimming your own light because no one else is like you. That's the point. No one else is supposed to be like you. That's why you're here, to be the only you. To be the only one with your magic. To be the only one with your specific superpowers. To be the only one who can be like you. And when you truly take the leap of faith and step into this knowing, that is where your dream reality is waiting for you. That is where the magic and the miracles are waiting for you. They're waiting for you. Your dream life is waiting for you to decide to be brave enough to step fully and authentically into exactly who you are, and releasing the egoic attachment to trying to fit ourselves into specific molds. Even in this spiritual community, I see a lot of people that are just saying the same things and teaching the same things. And while that's beautiful, there's so much magic being missed out on when we don't choose to anchor in the truth and authenticity of exactly who we came here to be and let it unfold miraculously without feeling the need to control, because we see somebody else doing it that way and they're successful already, so I can just copy them and do it their way and I'll be successful like them. You don't want to be successful like them. You want to be successful like you, because only you know exactly what your desires are. Only you know exactly what you want to anchor in to your life. Only you have this exact blueprint and makeup and calling and expression and truth. Only you have exactly what you have. And only you can be the one to share it. And if you're hiding yourself behind other people's magic, behind other people's truths and authenticities, and behind other people's blueprints for how they are them, if you're hiding yourself behind all of these layers, you're hiding yourself from your own highest timeline. You're hiding yourself from your own most magical, miraculous life. Just take off the masks of trying to be like everybody around you. Just be like you. And your life will begin to unfold rapidly in miraculous ways. And I know that this is like a big ask, because then we're like, okay, but like, who am I? How do I be me if I don't even know who I am? I get it. That just means you got to be spending more time in silence and in stillness with yourself, just breathing with yourself, putting on some like nice instrumental music, going on a nice walk, a bike ride, However you like to spend time in stillness with yourself, do more of that. And the truth within you will begin to unfold before your eyes. Truths will be revealed to you, but they cannot be revealed to you when you're constantly inputting noise and opinions and perspectives from other people. You're having so much input coming in, there's no space for you to open up to who you are and to listen to your own heart. Your own heart and your own truth is being clouded by all of the voices outside of you. And so if you don't know how to be yourself, I would suggest shutting it all off for a while and spending time in stillness with yourself until you feel more grounded in who you are and in your mission and what you came here to do and how you came here to express yourself. Because I promise you, you came here to express yourself in a very unique and powerful, authentic way. I promise that you did. And the only way to find that is to sit with yourself, which can be daunting, because there may be a lot of scary voices that you have been ignoring. A lot of mean voices, critical voices, judgmental voices that arise at first that you have been hiding yourself from because you're afraid that they're true. You're afraid that they mean something about you, and so you have been hiding yourself behind other people's voices because you think your own voice is scary and mean and dark. And so you've been trying to hide yourself from it, but it's only going to get louder until you sit with it. And when you bring your awareness to it, your light, you shine a light on that voice, and you don't try to scold it, you don't try to shame it or get rid of it. You simply just shine your light on it, which is your awareness. It will dissolve because it's not true. When you shine your truth upon it, your light, your awareness, anything that is untrue will dissolve. But you must be brave enough to look at it. That's all you have to do is look at it. You don't have to do anything with it. And the reason why super intense emotions come up in this space, such as shame, grief, guilt, anger, is because these emotions are attached to these thought forms. And so when we sit with the thought form, we may also have shame come up. We may also have anger come up. We may also have grief come up. All that you need to do is sit with and breathe into the space that it is arising within. Emotions are happening in your body, not in your head. There are thoughts in your head and emotions in your body. And so in order to shine your light and dissolve the illusions, dissolving the Maya, you must breathe into wherever the emotion is coming from. Is there a tightness in your chest? Is there an uneasy feeling in your stomach? Is there like something stuck in your throat? Sit with that, breathe, use your breath. Breathe into that sensation in your body while simultaneously becoming aware of your thought without clinging on to them. Just looking at them and breathing. Just becoming pure awareness, becoming the true observer, so that you can dissolve these untruths. And the more of your untruths that you begin to dissolve by spending time in stillness with yourself, while it might be uncomfortable, is the first step to sinking deeper into, grounding yourself deeper into your truth and your authenticity and your power. But you must be brave and courageous and face the discomfort. But you will be rewarded tenfold. You will be rewarded tenfold when you're able to sit with this kind of thing in your body. Not because you weren't worthy before, but because you couldn't access this with all the cloudiness. You must dissolve the cloudiness by sitting with it in order to access the clarity and truth of your power and authenticity. So you will be rewarded, but not because you're not worthy of it now, just because it's already here, it's already with you, or you already have it, you are it. You just can't see it because you've been suppressing all of these thought forms and emotions. They're now clouding up your truth. So have compassion for yourself. Have love for yourself as you go through it. And I promise you, the more and more you dissolve, the more of your light and truth and authenticity you will have access to. And then you will begin to awaken to your heart's path, to your heart's desire. You will begin to awaken to this sensation here that's guiding you always. It's always guiding you. It's just sometimes clouded by grief and anger and sadness, and you must face those things first. Let the illusions dissolve first so that this can get louder and more clear. Okay? So let's sit with this for a minute and just close our eyes and breathe. Just breathing, taking some deep breaths. And first, we're going to begin to become aware of our surroundings. Just anything that you can hear, any sensations you can feel on your skin. Becoming aware of our breath, following it all the way in and all the way out. Breathing into our heart. And from this space in our heart, where our pure awareness resides, we will begin to become aware of any thoughts or emotions that are with us. And you simply just have to say to yourself, this is a trick I like to use to trick myself out of the ego and into the observer, is saying, I am aware that I am having thoughts about, well, honestly, right now I'm not having thoughts about anything. I am aware right now that I have no thought. So all you must do is say, I am aware of, and then say the thought you're aware of, or say the emotion. I am aware of anxiety in my solar plexus. Just whatever it is, stating you're aware of it and then breathing into it. I am aware of the birds chirping. I am aware of my breath. And in this space, we're going to begin to think about anything that resonated with us, that sparked something within us, and just breathe into that spark while leaving behind anything that made no sense or didn't resonate or we didn't agree with, just leaving all of that behind. And breathing deeply into that spark in our hearts, where we hold our truth. Noticing if our hearts feel expansive or retracted. And taking 3 clearing breaths. more deep breath. And exhaling. And we can open our eyes. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. I hope this was helpful. And I love you so much. You are powerful. Spend time with your power. Spend time with your heart. Get to know the divine presence within your heart. No longer seeking and grasping for the divine outside of yourself, but really truly understanding that it's within you. It's in your heart. And choosing to water that seed, that divine seed in your heart. Choosing to water that seed rather than watering the external grasp for something that you're telling yourself you don't have. When you're looking and grasping outside of yourself, you're reaffirming to yourself that you don't have whatever it is that you're looking for. And so that sense of separation will expand. Whereas when you go within and you affirm to yourself that whatever it is you need, you already have within you. You just must first get to know yourself and your heart and your path and your authentic truth and breathe into that space. Slowly it will begin to bloom and your path will open and reveal itself to you because you're focusing on it. Even if the seed is small at first, the more you focus on it and go internally, the more and more it'll grow and expand and will reveal itself to you because you're no longer watering the seeds outside of you, watering something that is not you, but you're choosing now to water what is you. So what is you has no choice but to expand from within you and reveal itself to you in each now moment with the steps that you take throughout the day. The callings that you have in your heart throughout the day are revealing something to you. So don't ignore them. Okay? Goodbye. I don't know why I said it like that. Goodbye. Okay, bye.